Okay, we're switching birds. We're going from a dove to a swallow. This is swallow's tail mate. Now, swallow's tail mate is sometimes called guéridon's mate, which is French for pedestal table. And swallow's tail mate is going to look pretty similar to dovetail mate, but there's a couple important distinctions I'm going to point out. This pattern may also look similar to an upcoming checkmate pattern we're going to look at, which is epaulette mate. Stay tuned for that in a future chapter. So let's look at the logistics of this mate. It's often set up by a series of queen checks because this mate will be delivered by the queen. So just like dovetail mate, in this example, we're going to start with queen d8 check, an initial check from the queen. This forces king g7, and now white has a mate in 2. They can play queen h8 check. The queen is supported by the rook from h1, and it's also looking through the black king in order to guard the f6 square. And after king g6, which is forced, white can play queen h6, swallow's tail mate. In swallow's tail mate, the queen is 1 square away horizontally or vertically from the enemy king. That's an important distinction compared to dovetail mate, where the queen was 1 square away diagonally from the enemy king. And like dovetail mate, the queen is protected, in this case by a rook. And also, the king cannot go to these 2 diagonal escape squares. This is an important aspect of this mate. The 2 diagonal escape squares are covered by friendly fire, so a black pawn on f7 and f5 in this case. Whereas in the dovetail mate, the pawns were, let's say, if white was giving checkmate on h8 in that initial dovetail example with the black king on g7, the pawns were in front and to the side of the king on f7 and g6.